Which better way of ending and starting the year with the Italian tradition of lentil soup or anything lentils, but for good luck and good health and everything, lentil soup is a thing. So today I'm going to make some lentil soup the way I've made it, the way I grew up eating it, so it's the way I enjoy it. I'm going to go through ingredients. I've got a pound of lentils, okay? These are dry lentils. I had a pound sitting in water overnight. So last night I put them in the water and I let them sit to rehydrate. And I'm going to show you the difference. We'll put a couple of lentils on the white plate here. These are dry. And then I'm going to take a couple of the ones that have been soaking. If you look at the importance of soaking your lentils, you see how small they started like this. 24 hours later, we're at that. And what that's going to do is just, one, you're not going to have to cook the soup as long. You're not going to go through as much liquid in there. You're going to have a more tender lentil. So we got our lentils. You can do brown, green, whatever color lentils you want. I usually stick with the standard brown lentil. Then I have some pancetta and American bacon. I like mixing pancetta and American bacon. Get that flavor profile. I put that in mind. You don't have to, but it definitely, for me, brings it more flavor. We're going to dice these up. I got one medium onion. Got a couple of stalks of celery, carrots. Got a gallon of chicken stock. And 1 can whole peeled tomatoes. And then also what I have, which I'm going to finish with, I like in mine, is some fresh spinach. I'm not going to put that in till the end. I'm going to start dicing up my pancetta and my bacon. You could do it as big as small. The larger you do it, the little you're going to have more presence in your soup. You could do it small if you just want to get the flavor out of it. So I'm going to do about a medium dice on this. Take my pancetta and put it into the pot, put a little bit of olive oil in, get my fire on medium, my bacon, and just cut it up a little bit smaller. Now I have my bacon and my pancetta in. I'm going to start rendering that down. While that's rendering, take my onion. I like to do a smaller dice. Again, you can do it as larger or as big as you want. It all depends on the finish of the soup that you like. This is starting to heat up nicely. I'm going to take my celery. Let's see how we're doing. We're starting to render it down. I'm not looking so much for color. I just want to render it down. Cook down a little bit. I'm going to take my onions. I like to put a little bit of salt, especially when I'm looking to get my vegetables translucent and not so much caramelized, because that'll help draw out a little bit of the liquids in the vegetable. And then this way it helps it become translucent and not too much color on it. That's starting to cook down. Now I'm going to add my celery. We're going to let that cook down 3-4 minutes. While that's cooking down, I'm going to take my can of whole tomatoes. Now, I like to use whole tomatoes because they still hold a lot of liquid. No matter what, I don't care if you get the most expensive tomatoes out there. A whole tomato is still going to hold the liquid. So that liquid is going to be part of what helps me cook the soup. So put them into a bowl. And I like a little bit of unctuousness. Is that a word? Just in case anybody's nervous. Clean hands. I'm just going to hand crush them. Make sure you keep your tomato underneath the liquid so it doesn't splash all over you. Or less of a chance anyway. I make no promises. For those of you saying, oh, you forgot your carrots, I didn't forget them. They're off to the side for a second because I'm going to cut them a little bigger and they're going to become a little bit more part of the soup than our onions and celery. Let's see how our veggies are looking. They're starting to get translucent. The onions are starting to get a little bit clearer than a plain white. We'll put our tomatoes to the side. Got our carrots. Cut your ends off. Peel them. Then what I do is I'll just cut little circles at the tip, depending on what size the carrot is. Once I start getting to a little bit larger, cut it in half, and then do half moons. If you want to dice your carrots smaller, you can cut them smaller, that's fine. I like them like this. Nice bright color in the soup. I can smell it starting to sweeten up. The onions are nice and sweet, translucent. Take our lentils. We have strained out, okay? I strained them out. I don't like to use the water that I soaked them in, okay? I'll strain them. I'll rinse them off a little bit just to make sure if there's any outside particles in. Clean it off, and then I'm ready to go. So I got my lentils going right in. Mix them up nice. I'm going to take my tomatoes, put them in, then my chicken stock. You can use water and bouillon. You can use plain water if you want. I go about, I don't know, maybe an inch over the lentils and the vegetables with my liquid. I can always add more if I want, but I like lentil soup to be a little bit more hearty than a chicken noodle soup. Okay, so we're going to let this cook. We're going to put it on medium. It's going to probably cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. So we're about 20 minutes into the cooking. We have it down to a nice little simmer. Now I'm going to add my carrots. And I add them a little bit into it because I don't want them to become mush. I want them to be present in my soup. So our carrots are in. Our soup is going. Now we're going to put a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, a little bit more salt, and then we'll let it cook, and then we'll season it. You got to remember, you don't want to over-season it, but lentils are going to draw, a lot of the salt out of there. As you're going, just taste it and season it and see how it is. So we're going to look at about another 30 minutes on cook time, and then we're going to have some beautiful lentil soup. Soup's been on for about 45 minutes. Lentils are nice and tender. The carrots are nice and soft, but they're not broken down. Nice baby spinach. Leave it whole if you want. I'm just going to do a little rough chop with it and put it right into the soup. Put as much or as little as you like. I'm going to stir it in. Give it 5 minutes just to cook down and wilt down a little bit, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Now, I will say I do like making my soup, any soup for that matter, a day before, letting it sit, and then reheating it. I just think flavor is so much better and full. But we're going to let this go for another 5 minutes with the spinach. Take a look at it. See if you can bring that in here. Look at the beautiful color in there. A little clean up in aisle 5. So for me, I like to finish it with a little bit of grated Parmesan. A little of your favorite extra virgin olive oil. And then yesterday, our master instructor, Danny, hooked us up with some beautiful grissini, house-made. He made them fresh yesterday, dried them out overnight. We got some sesame, we got some plain, we got some, a little bit of herb seasoning ones. Into this. Can you hear it? Oh, let's see. Good. We'll garnish on the side. Lentil soup for health, happiness in the new year. God bless you all, and we hope to see you soon. Like us, share our videos, and support the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy.